Oh my God, Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano. How are your cookies, Melissa? Alyssa Milano cookies. Those are pretty good cookies, actually. I wish I could say the same for her. Have you heard about this bullshit from this leftist nut job that probably loves fucking Oakland? Oh, I love Oakland, California, and all sanctuary cities that are a safe haven for illegal aliens that kill our people and rob us and don't pay taxes. Yes, the poor oppressed people. Yeah, there's no oppressed Americans, right? There's no poor Americans, right, that could use the help that's going to those people. Oh, no. We shouldn't help our own. I wonder how much money she's giving away. I wonder how much she's impoverishing herself. Didn't she have like 3 kids? Why don't you give 90% of your money to charity, bitch? Why don't you put yourself in an impoverished position and then see how you like it when that money is given to illegal aliens and their fucking kids and to educate their kids and to give them health care and to give them free food and shit? Oh, and give them fucking housing. Meanwhile, your kids are going hungry. Let's see how you like that, bitch. Oh, but she's not in that position. She's living in her ivory fucking tower with electric fences around her house that she probably has dead cats hanging from and thinks that she's a great fucking person because, well, I'm leaving the meat there. It's getting nice and cooked and jerked so that the homeless can have something to eat while they walk by my house that they can't get into because I have a wall, but walls don't work. So Alyssa Milano, she calls for a sex strike over Georgia anti-abortion law. Yeah, who gives a fuck what you think, bitch? Anti-abortion law. Give me a break. Who takes this broad seriously? When was the last time she was on TV? 1983? Was it 1983 or some shit? It's been a long fucking time since this broad's been on TV, right? She started out on that, I got some drop frames. 8 seconds worth. That's life. Let's hope we don't get any more. Yeah, when was the last time she was relevant? The 80s? She was on that crappy TV show, what was it, Who's the Boss? Where you had the pussy fucking wimpy, simpy man who used to be a professional baseball player. And he went from a professional baseball player to, what was he, a maid? He was a live-in maid for some wealthy advertising executive. And then he shows up. She thought she was hiring a woman. It turns out it's a man. Okay, you and your daughter can live here. And hijinks occur, right? Yeah, it was meh. You thought it was a good show at the time, right? She was a good-looking broad. Oh, okay, she did that fucking Charmed like 20 years later. Had a long period in between where she did nothing except, I think, some soft-core porn. But anyway, yeah, we should listen to her. We should listen to this busted-out broad. Yeah. I've had 3 kids. Sex strike? Her husband's like, oh, thank God. I don't want to bang you anyway. I don't even feel it when it goes in anymore. So Alyssa Milano has declared an all-out war on Georgia. Yeah. Urging women to stop having sex. What? Which women? Until Georgia repeals this law severely limiting abortion. Right, because, we got to be able to kill babies at any time. We got to be able to kill them at any time. Month 2, month 5, month 9. Hell, why don't we kill them after they're born? Yeah, why not? They're not human, even once they popped out. Oh, but we don't have a depopulation agenda here on the left. Oh, no, as we're telling people to stop having kids. In case you haven't heard, Georgia is the latest state. There are 5 other states that prohibit abortion after doctors can detect a heartbeat in the fetus. I don't think this is a bad thing. Okay, and I'll tell you why. All right? I think that everybody has to have an agreed upon point where you say, okay, this isn't okay anymore. All right? There has to be a point where you declare this is human, where you're dealing with a life and not just a clump of cells or something. And by the way, I don't believe in conception at birth. I'm not a religious nut job. I'm not a zealot. I'm not religious. I'm an atheist, okay? And at a certain point, it's not a person. But we have to come to a conclusion as to when it becomes one, okay? And I think detecting a heartbeat, that's a good objective standard. Now, of course, the rabid leftist, no! We got to be able to kill the baby up until birth. Have you ever heard of adoption? No, I want it to die. Are you a psycho? You'd rather kill your kid than in 2 weeks give birth to a breathing, living child and then give it up for adoption? Yes, because I don't want to live with the idea of thinking day and night about my baby being raised by somebody else. So you'd rather kill it and it doesn't live at all. What are you, a fucking malignant narcissist? The world revolves around you? Oh, I forgot. We're dealing with modern day women here who are all fucking feminist nut jobs. I see. Yeah. Heartbeats are usually detected after 6 weeks, and many women don't even know they're pregnant until later. Not my problem. Maybe, ladies, you shouldn't be having sex out of wedlock. Maybe you should stop thinking that you can be like men. And by the way, men used to wait until, get this, they got married to have sex. You know why? Because women are the gatekeepers. Men will have as little or as much sex as women will allow them to have. If you're offering up free fucking steak 7 days a week, you're going to have the most popular fucking steakhouse in the world. Duh! We're just giving it away. Well, what do you expect? You're giving away free shit left and right. What do you think? People ain't going to take it? What about what happened to the Obama phones? Everybody and their mother that was black showed up to get an Obama phone. You give free shit away, people are going to take it. If women start giving away sex willy-nilly, of course men are going to fucking take advantage. So the women are the fucking gatekeepers. So it's their job, if they want to find a good quality man, to not be so promiscuous. And maybe look for men who would be good providers and who have real virtue instead of, ew, he has a six-pack. Oh, but if I bang him, I might have a baby. And oh no, if that happens, oh, wait, I can get an abortion if I bang him. All right, let's go bang that motherfucker. He's so hot. You don't have to have the baby now. And, he's a loser. He has a shitty job. He drives a fucking motorcycle all the time that he can barely pay for. He's probably way over as far as late fees go, and he hasn't made a payment on that motherfucker in a while. He's a broke loser. But he's got tattoos. Yeah. So you can waste your 20s and your early 30s, your best childbearing years, and the years where your fucking sexual marketplace value is the highest, jumping from conk to conk to conk because no consequences. I don't have to have the baby, so I don't have to marry him and have him take care of me. And even if I do get pregnant and have a baby, I've got Big Daddy called the state, the government, and they'll take care of me. So you have all these incentives for women. Abortion coupled with the state taking the place of the man to encourage women to be irresponsible. And by the way, that encourages them to put themselves into a position where they won't find a good man. And yet they're running around all the time saying, we're all the good men. You scared them off, dummy. Good men don't want to be with you. 35-year-old broad wondering why she can't find a man after she slept with 100+ fucking guys and totally ruined herself. And now she's post-war. And it's like, what happened? What happened? Why don't men want me anymore? And why can't I find good men anymore? And even the tattooed dudes don't want me anymore. Just a bunch of young little college boys who have no resources and they want to bang a cougar and they just want some easy access. They're the only ones that want me now. Yeah. Duh. Anyway, Alyssa says, our reproductive rights are being erased. I don't understand. Did somebody tell you can't have kids? You have the ability to have children. I don't know that it's a right. I mean, if you bang a dude and he wants to bang you and you're not holding a knife to his throat and raping him and threatening to kill him if he doesn't give you his seed, and then you get pregnant, well, I guess you have a right to continue that pregnancy. I don't believe in positive rights in this world, by the way, okay? There's no such thing, all right? There's no such thing as I have this right or I have that right. There's just shit that exists. Okay, that's it. The ability to get pregnant exists. Yes, you have that ability. Do you have the right to exercise that ability? If the other party is willing, sure. But nobody's stopping you from doing that. Until women have legal control over our own bodies, we cannot risk pregnancy. Okay, isn't that what... I'm confused. Isn't that what most conservatives say anyway, that you should just abstain until marriage? This is crazy. She's essentially saying the same thing conservatives are. Just don't have sex. Okay, I can get behind that message. Go ahead. Women ain't banging anything but the top 20% of guys anyway, and fucking musicians and shit. Oh, fuck me. They're banging the hottest guys, the 8s, 9s, and 10s, mostly the 9s and 10s, and the dudes that make 6+ figures. They're banging the top 20% of dudes. Something like 15% of dudes globally are over 6 feet tall, okay? So, it's the status quo anyway. What changes? I didn't see anything changing here. And by the way, who's going to do this? I thought, don't women like sex? Most women like sex. What, lefty broads going to do this? They don't have men anyway. Most lefty broads are big, fat broads who sit down and can't wait to chow down. That's why they bitch and moan and complain about fat shaming and push that body positivity nonsense, because they're ugly. They're fat and ugly, that's all. They're fugly. You don't have a man anyway. Abstain. I'm going to withhold sex. Nobody wants to bang you anyway. And the ones that do have men, they're a bunch of pussies anyway. They're a bunch of weakling, pathetic losers anyway. And they already agree with these women. And conservative women, they're going to be like, I'm not going to listen to this broad. She's a rabid leftist nut. I don't believe in her agenda. I think abortion is wrong. So literally, the only people this would have any effect on is people that already agree with this crazy broad. She's accomplishing nothing. In fact, she's harming her cause because she's letting us men know, she's making it very clear, and this is something we all know, right? But women don't come out and say it, that sex is nothing more than a weapon for women. It's a tool, it's their currency, and they will not hesitate to use it as a weapon. She's making that very, very clear. You're showing your cards, sweetheart. You ladies are supposed to play these things close to the vest so you can always deny, oh, we don't do that. Ooh. Yeah, you do. Oh, join me, she says, by not having sex until we get bodily autonomy back. I don't know what this means. What does that mean, bodily? What do you mean bodily autonomy? I don't understand. You have bodily autonomy? What is she talking about? If you want to be one of the, what are those people that, they feel like there's some really wanky people out there. There was one broad that threw acid in her own eyes because she identified as a blind person, and then she was like super happy. And there was another guy that chopped off his own leg because he felt like a disabled man and he wanted to be legless. Well, he wanted to have a peg leg or something. Did it, and he was like, oh, so happy. They're mentally ill, of course. But that's bodily autonomy. You can do whatever you want with your own body. What are you talking about? You see, they make this flawed argument that the baby, or the fetus, whatever name I can give it to make it into an other, and thereby not have it qualify for the same rights I and other human beings have, it's not you. It has different DNA than you. It's not a part of you. It's connected to you, and it needs you during that period to survive, but it's not part of your body, okay? You don't have the right to kill it. And by the way, this is very interesting to me. You chose to get pregnant when you boffed that dude with the six-pack or the tattoos who played the guitar, the drums, whatever. Usually it's drums. Drums are easier than the guitar, right? Any pinhead can bang on some fucking drums. Usually it's something like that, right? I don't know what it is with musicians. I guess it's because the music makes women feel emotional. And, this prior ugly guy, now he's banging on some fucking drums. It's like, oh, now he seems attractive and cool. But, you chose to bang him. You knew what the possible consequences were. I love it. So, let me get this straight. It's funny how, this is an aside, but you ever notice how women blame men? Like, they talk about women are responsible. When you chase two to tango, yeah, but you're the gatekeeper. You're the gatekeeper. So let me get this straight. Woman's body, woman's choice, all your responsibility, you have all the power, yet you also can blame men and say they have a hand. You can't have it both ways. Either you have all the power and responsibility, or it's part men, and if it's part men, then they have a say in the pregnancy. Oh no, I have all the power, but I can half blame you. So essentially, I can ascribe you 50% of the responsibility without ascribing you 50% of the say in regards to what happens with this child. Oh, how convenient. Nice double standard, ladies. Of course, there's so many soy boys out there right now. They don't see these inconsistencies, the total lack of logic and reason in these retarded arguments. They can point these things out like me. That's why you listen to me, by the way. Yeah. All right, so Milano, named after a cookie. All right. Cookies are better than this broad. I'd rather have a bag of cookies than her. Have you seen her? Oh, my God. She got whacked in the face with the fucking wall. Jesus Christ. There ain't enough makeup to make her look presentable. So, yeah, first of all, your reproductive rights are not being erased, okay? Because the ability to reproduce, nobody's stopping you from being able to do that. What she's talking about is deductive rights, taking away. That's different. That's a totally different thing. It's different, you see. There's a difference. So if I build a brick wall, mortar, bricks, I'm adding. Okay? I'm adding to something. Now, get a big fucking hammer, whack, 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 whack. I'm taking away. I'm reducing the wall to rubble. I'm taking bricks off. I'm deducting bricks from the wall. It's two entirely different actions. And while in my position as a bricklayer, I have the ability, the rightness, in fact, my job to lay the bricks, my boss might have a problem if I start going at that fucking wall that he paid me to build with a fucking hammer. I don't have that right. It's not part of my fucking job description. And it's not part of your right, as part of your ability to reproduce, to deduct and take the life away from that child. You can reproduce. You can absolutely do that. Nobody is stopping you from being able to exercise control over your body to reproduce. It's the whole killing the baby part and deducting life that you don't have the right to do. But, of course, they like to conflate these two things. And, of course, join me by not having sex. I'm calling for a sex strike. Pass it on. Milano's call to arms is reminiscent of ancient Greece and Spike Lee. Spike Lee? In famous Greek literature, a character convinces women to refuse sex with their husbands until they end a war. How would you be able to do that in ancient Greece? I mean, okay. Anyway, as for Spike, he suggested the same remedy for gang violence in the film Chirac. There's also been a movie to boycott the film industry in Georgia until the law is repealed, but this clearly affects more people. So, first of all, Alyssa Milano is a washed-up has-been, if she ever was anything. I mean, she was a child star on Who's the Boss, and then she was on a crappy TV show, Charmed, that wasn't even a mainstream TV show. It wasn't on the big three networks at the time. It was some crappy fucking cable channel. And, I mean, it's like, who cares? It's like that crappy show Smallville. What's that one broad right now that's involved in that Nexium scam? Nexium or whatever the fuck it's called. She was procuring sex slaves for the guy that ran the thing. She was part of a cult. Nobody cares about her. And she was on a show for much longer. What was it, the WB for 11 years. Chloe, the beta orbiter chick, constantly orbiting around Clark. He was so hot. She looks horrible too, by the way. Talk about the wall hitting hard. Boy, that broad has used some major amounts of cocaine and booze. You ought to check her out. That broad that played Chloe on Smallville. Holy shit. She looks as bad as Alyssa Milano does at 46. It's a 10-year age gap, too. Wow. Wall strikes at different times in different ways. But anyway, yeah. Who is she? Alyssa Milano's a nobody. Why is anybody going to listen to you, honey? Again, the only people this is going to affect is those that agree with you. And the dudes, the male feminist wimps who might have fucking feminist girlfriends, or they're orbiting around feminists and they themselves are pretending to be feminists so they might get sex. They're going to be in the same position. I don't see what this accomplishes. The conservative broads don't agree with it, so they're going to keep banging their husbands. The leftist broads ain't getting any anyway, and the ones that are, why would they not have sex with the man they're with who already claims to agree with them? Wouldn't you not have sex to change the man's mind and make him agree with you? It's pointless. Pointless virtue signaling, but that's what the left is all about, right? That's what they're all about. And by the way, she has no say over what movies get made in Georgia. You got Disney, which seems to be gobbling up every other fucking movie production outfit there is out there. Didn't they buy Fox? They're buying up everything. Soon enough, you're going to have a monopoly. Disney will own everything in regards to entertainment. What do you think? Disney's going to listen to this broad? We could save 20% on our movie production if we go to Georgia. But they've got that pesky abortion bill that we don't like. So we're going to go to this other state and pay 20% more? Really? I don't think that's going to happen, Alyssa Milano, cookie broad. The other states that have similar laws are Ohio, Mississippi, Kentucky, Iowa, and North Dakota. The Georgia law takes effect in January. And guess what? It's now 6. Because since this story was written, Tennessee has also passed a similar bill. 8-finger clap, baby. Love it. Love it. Ooh, give me a sec here. I got to pour myself another cup of Java. Got to be careful not to spill any on myself because this thermos is uber effective. This stuff is scalding hot. And although it might entertain you to see me get burned, I wouldn't particularly enjoy it. Okay, there we go. Tennessee House passes bill banning abortions once heartbeat is detected. We keep winning. Logic and reason keep winning. There's always a pushback. There's always a pushback. Pendulum swings too far one way. Guess what? It always swings back. It might take a while. But laws of physics, gravity being what they are, it's going to swing back. Okay? Tennessee is the latest state to move closer to enacting one of the strictest abortion laws in the nation. House lawmakers on Thursday passed legislation that would ban most abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected, about 6 weeks into pregnancy. Same thing that happened in Georgia. The bill is almost guaranteed to face a lawsuit if it becomes law. Good. 2 things happen. It goes to an appeals court, they uphold it, and then it gets appealed by either side until it eventually reaches the Supreme Court. And if enough states do this and enough cases get appealed back and forth, the Supreme Court will eventually have to hear one of them. And then Roe v. Wade will eventually be challenged and overturned because it's based on a lie. The woman involved in that case wasn't even raped. It was a total fucking lie. All right. So, however, Republicans in Tennessee and across the country have continued in their efforts to curb abortions. Good. The unborn need us, said Republican Representative Mika Van Huss, a sponsor of the proposal. We are Tennesseans. Interesting. If everyone does what's wrong, we do what's right. Okay. Similar bills are being considered in other states, including Mississippi, Florida, Kentucky, Ohio, and South Carolina. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! The goal is to trigger a legal challenge to the 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that established a nationwide right to abortion and possibly could upend other rulings that have determined states cannot place undue burdens on a woman's constitutional right to an abortion before a fetus is viable, typically between 24 and 48 weeks. What the fuck? Where does it say in the Constitution that you have the right to kill your baby before it's born? I read the Constitution. I didn't see that in there. I don't know. Maybe I need new glasses. Most of all of you are men. It's a typo. Most, it should be OR, not OF. Most or all of you are men. A woman's voice should not be decided by those who cannot have kids. Ha, fuck you! It affects me! We're both human, right? I love it. So there's no such thing as gender until you want to make a gendered argument that only your gender can make certain decisions about your gender, which, in another argument, you say gender doesn't exist. No such thing as gender. Ooh, wait a second. This affects me personally. All right, there's such a thing as gender. You can't make decisions for my gender, but there's no such thing as gender. What? What the fuck are you talking about? You ditzy broads. Okay, then stop talking about fucking toxic masculinity. Stop talking about men, period. You can't say another motherfucking thing about a man because you're not a man. You don't have a cock. You can't talk about men's issues, bitches. Oh, they wouldn't like that. They wouldn't like that at all. We got to share this world with you. It's our world, too. What affects you affects us. Hello? You just made the argument for me about you and abortion, you dummy. Don't you give birth to men as well? Idiotic. Isn't you having or not having a child something that directly affects me? Hello, the next generation of human beings, humanity itself? I would think that affects me somewhat as a human being, you pinhead. And I gotta pay half the fucking bills. And I love this. I love this. Yeah. Let me tell you something, honey. When you don't need a man to get pregnant, when you don't need a man to support that child, when you don't need a man's taxes to support that child, when you go off and live in a fucking cave somewhere where you can fucking, I don't know, through some kind of alchemy, sorcery, cook up your own fucking sperm, impregnate yourself, become some kind of asexual being that has both a cock and a pussy, and bang yourself and get yourself pregnant, the day you can do that, and you don't take any resources from a man, and your actions have no effect on the world at all, then you can fucking say, oh, well, you don't get to have a say. Until then, shut the fuck up, you dummy, you.